Hey YouTube, this video is going to be about politics. I'm going to be talking about, let's see, Libya and Obama's chances at re-election. Okay, so first we got Libya. Lots of people are saying different things about it, that it's unconstitutional, that it's a wrong war, we shouldn't be in it, so on and so forth. As far as constitutionality goes, there's really nothing in the Constitution saying the president cannot go to war like this, that he has to get approval from Congress. I mean, there's no such wording in the Constitution, period. It doesn't say that he has to get approval. Because I think everybody realizes that the president has his own brain. He's not a slave of Congress who needs approval for everything. Pardon the analogy. And really, the Constitution only says that Congress can declare war, okay? And, that's really not the same as saying that Congress gives approval for war. It's just that Congress can go and declare war, which it really hasn't done since World War II, okay? Because Congress really, I don't know, they don't really get their act together to declare war or do anything. So technically, this kind of thing probably doesn't require congressional approval, in my opinion. I mean, they didn't get approval to go into Bosnia, when Clinton went into Bosnia. They just had, NATO and a UN resolution, and that was pretty much it, just like right now. And, it's the same kind of situation. We're going in to protect civilians. We're not sending in our military to take over the country like we're doing in Iraq or in Afghanistan or Vietnam. All we're doing right now is sending like surveillance and refueling airplanes. That's about it. It's really very, very different. There are no American lives at risk. It doesn't really cost all that much. As far as I know, we were spending billions a day on the other wars, but we're not even going to spend $1 billion total in Libya. And finally, let's not forget that Congress members were the ones who were pushing for Obama to go into Libya in the first place. You had, like Republican senators like Senator Graham, Senator Kerry, not Senator Kerry, Senator McCain, and of course also Senator Kerry, but Senator Kerry is not Republican, he's Democrat. And, they're all saying that Obama should have gone into Libya earlier, like before he even decided to go into Libya. So Congress did kind of approve it. I mean, all the people speaking out from Congress did say that they wanted him to go into Libya. There wasn't anybody really dissenting until after he went into Libya. Then everybody started complaining. And personally, I tend to think that the war in Libya is correct because, you have to remember that Gaddafi is the one who sponsored the Lockerbie bombings. That's confirmed more or less by, Musa Kusa, everybody else. There's no real doubt about it that he killed, like 190 Americans. That's way more terrorism than Saddam Hussein ever sponsored. And if you want to get rid of somebody, I think you should really be getting rid of Gaddafi, it's not even costing as much as it cost to get rid of Saddam, so it's not really like a wrong decision, I think. Also, I think the United States should stand for democracy and freedom, because and going to Libya, we're really doing a good thing, and we're upholding these ideals. We're not doing something bad. It's not like Iraq where we made some gigantic mistake about weapons of mass destruction. Here we're pretty confident that what we're doing is the right thing, and it's, as I said before, it's costing us very little. It's going to cost probably like $750 million total, which is much, much less than any of the other wars. So it's like you're getting something good for free. You're getting rid of somebody who killed 190 Americans for a very, very little cost. Okay, and let's move on to Obama's chances of re-election. As we all know, the economy hasn't fully recovered. There's a giant unemployment problem, and I just want to say that the quantitative easing probably helped. It's not a bad thing, and we're no longer in a recession technically. The growth right now is pretty anemic, but you have to remember that it could be much worse. We could have, maybe like 10-15% unemployment, or even higher than that. Maybe like we could be in a Great Depression right now if we hadn't stepped in like we did. So it's not like Obama did anything wrong technically. It's just that it hasn't grown as fast as some of us would probably like. But it's not like magic. It's not like he can wave a wand and make the unemployment go away. It's just the market functioning naturally, and he can't, he can only control it to some extent. And so we got people who are saying that Obama is responsible for the high employment, and that's simply not true, because we're in the midst of a global recovery. I mean, in Europe, you've got close to 10% employment. It's even higher than here in the United States, and you can't say that Obama is causing that unemployment in Europe too. He's not really doing that. It's just the global recovery is just taking time. It's not like going to happen overnight, as everybody's been saying, and it's just wrong to criticize one person for not making it all come together faster, because it's just not possible. He's not gonna make the whole world better just by being there. I don't think anybody could. And also, people are saying that Obama's healthcare bill is a job killer, quote unquote, and it's not really true. I mean, hasn't caused the unemployment that we have right now, at least. I mean, which seems to be what they're implying. They're implying that there's high unemployment and Obama's causing it, and one of his causes is this healthcare bill. But that's just not true. I mean, it hasn't even gone into effect yet, and we have to remember that high unemployment is caused by the financial crisis, which started before Obama, and it just hasn't really abated yet. But I mean, has nothing really to do with Obama's healthcare bill. And also, there seems to be people who blame the Fed for quantitative easing, and that also has nothing to do with Obama, because Obama does not control the Fed. The Fed is an independent agency. It's not really controlled by any of the politicians. In fact, it'd probably be a bad idea if any of the politicians controlled the Fed, because the Fed right now is being controlled by experts, people who are economists and who really know what they're doing. They're not just like talking heads who can get votes. They're actually real economists who know their stuff. And I mean, and there seems to be people who think that you can fix the economy for free. There are people who think that you can get like 5% growth, and you can get, you can work like all kinds of magic. But that's not even true. Like, once you're in the recession, you need to get out of it, and it's not going to be free. It's going to cost a whole lot, and that's basically what's happened. We've paid a whole lot to try to get out of the recession, and that's why we have the deficit, and that's why we have a number of problems, and it's not really going to go away just by saying that we can have 5% growth and we can just cut our deficit. I mean, the whole reason why we're in this deficit is because we're trying to get out of the recession, and we paid a lot of money to prop up the banks and to like bail people out, and you really needed to bail these people out. I mean, there's also people who think that we don't need to bail anyone out, and that's not true at all. If we didn't bail them out, then we'd be in a even worse situation. We'd probably be in the Great Depression right now, because that's what happened in the Great Depression. You had banks that kind of failed all over the place, and the financial system collapsed. People couldn't borrow money. That means that you can't buy a house, you can't start a business, you can't do anything. So the economy basically halted, and that's exactly what would have happened in like 2008 or 2009 if we hadn't gone through these bailouts. So it's not like you could have done anything else. And as proof of that, the bailout was started by President Bush, a Republican president, and is continued by Obama. There's no president, Republican or Democrat, who could have done anything else, because it's really just a no-brainer. You can't have a recovery without the bailout. And as far as re-election goes, I kind of am leaning towards Obama not getting re-elected right now, because of the economic problems. I mean, as I've said, it's not like totally his fault, but at this point, people are looking at 9.1% unemployment. It did go down like a little bit to 8.8% at one point, and then it popped back up to 9.1%. So I really don't think it's going to go down that much, come November, and that's probably going to be on people's minds. People are going to be confused. They're going to think that Obama caused everything. And that's why I made this video, to hopefully explain what I think about all this. But the point is, I think that as far as the re-election goes, the economy is just way too bad. It reminds me a little bit of the Carter administration, where he tried to fix inflation, and by fixing inflation, is kind of required that they also raise interest rates, which ended up creating high unemployment, even though it was like sort of a good thing because he fixed the inflation, but sort of a bad thing because he created high unemployment. But anyway, people were really angry about it. They thought it was, all it was all wrong and it was all blamed on the Democrats, and they lost. And basically, I think that's going to happen again. So that's it. I hope I explained something. If not, leave a comment, maybe like saying you suck or whatever. All right, see you.